Hi, my name is Sheva Carr. I'm a co-director here at HeartMath Healthcare, where we bring resilience-building tools based on 30 years of evidence-based peer-reviewed research into human performance and resilience and physiology into hospital systems. Some of those hospitals that we work with are pediatric hospitals, and we've been getting requests for tips on how to support adolescents and teenagers through this very unusual COVID-19 quarantine worldwide. The quarantine has particular impact on the adolescent and teen population. We want to realize that when you hit your teenage years, that's in normal development, a time when you're beginning to look to your peer group more than your family unit for your social support system, for your a sense of belonging and all kinds of things. And of course, now in quarantine, these teenagers are being driven back into their family units as their social network. And save for virtual social media and those kinds of points of contact, it produces a unique kind of stressor on a teenage development process. And so we're getting some feedback from our clients that teenagers in particular are showing the signs of stress in the COVID-19 process. And we wanted to give parents and healthcare givers and teenagers themselves, if you happen to be a teenager watching this or a teen at heart, some tips on how to handle the stress of this very unique time. One of the most important things that emerges in that developmental phase of adolescence is the beginnings of greater independence, finding your own locus of control, your own autonomy, capacity for self-regulated decision-making. And of course, when you're locked back at home with your family, it can feel like a lot of that independence and personal power is taken away. And so then to have parents suddenly in charge of your schedule and your scholastic schedule and telling you what to do when can be, well, let's just say irritating, to say the least. And that irritation is actually a healthy response. We want to be clear for both parents, caregivers, and teens. That's not a bad thing. That's your adulthood coming online saying, I want to be more in charge of my own life right now. And so one of the things that we want to support you to do is to listen to that internal intelligence system that's coming online for you as you're growing toward adulthood. And the way that we teach people to access that of all ages at HeartMath is to listen to their heart intelligence, or what we call heart intelligence. It turns out, and we could do this together right now, if you just focus your attention in the area around your heart, the chest area, and imagine the breath is flowing in through the heart and out through the heart or chest area. Some people find it helpful to count to 5 as you breathe in, and to count to 5 as you breathe out. That heart-focused breathing begins to balance your autonomic nervous system, which balances over 1,400 other things in your physiology, including your hormones and things like your sleep cycles. But it also means the heart, which it's been discovered has a brain in it, communicates directly with the brain in our cerebrum that we usually think of as our brain, and opens up our higher centers of intelligence for things like impulse control, better decision making, the capacity to see the consequences of our actions and have goals, vision, dreams, and the clarity on how to step toward them. And so the whole idea of like song lyrics, like listen to your heart or follow your heart, is more than just poetic song titles or lyrics or poetry. It actually has scientific merit. And so as we're able to shift those heart rhythm patterns, which is amplified if we can breathe gratitude or appreciation or compassion or care in through the heart and out through the heart, it actually brings the guide inside us online, that capacity to hear our inner guidance system and act on it. And for people of all ages, but especially for me, when I was first learning these skills, I found it incredibly helpful to journal. and to write down the messages that I thought I was hearing from my heart. But also in that journaling process, because this shift to what we call heart coherence gives us more self and situational awareness. So as people of all ages, but especially teens, are wanting to step into more of their personal power and their optimal future and self-directed decision-making and choices, keeping journals about the choices you're making and the consequences of them, watching how you feel. So looking at when you go to bed and when you get up, looking at what you eat or the other kinds of choices that you're making, and then keeping a journal of how you feel and checking in with your heart and seeing what it tells you about it. All of that helps you make better choices for yourself that feel better to you and can also give you the kind of respect of the people in your environment to see that you're really being attentive and responsible to your choices. And certainly for those of you who are caregivers, encouraging teens to do a process like self-awareness journaling rather than advising them or recommending what choices they should be making can help give them that sense of independence, autonomy, and an inner locus of control in a time when many of those things have been taken away from them, even albeit temporarily, in a quarantine when they're in a developmental cycle where they need that sense of personal empowerment. I hope these tips have been helpful to you and the teenagers that you know and love. I know they've helped out some of those that that are very dear to my heart. If you'd like more support, we are standing by here at HeartMath to help in this unusual and unique stressful time. You can write to us at destress, DESTRESS at heartmath.com. Thank you, and take good care of yourselves and each other.